This is Tom. One day, Tom had a great business idea, and he was determined to make it a reality. He saw two futures stretching out before him. In one, he spent months creating an elaborate business plan, seeking out investors, and pouring all of his savings into this venture. In the other, he put together a quick plan, tested his idea with potential customers, and kept his expenses to a minimum. In the first future, Tom's business launch was a disaster. No one wanted to buy his product, and he lost 8 months of his life, all of his money, and all of his investors' money. In the second future, Tom's product didn't sell either. But because he kept his expenses low and hadn't relied on investor money, he didn't really lose any money. And he lost just a few weeks before he figured out that this idea did not work. In the book, The Lean Startup, author Eric Ries gives us the strategies we need to start a business in the most effective way, to make sure the business works before betting our life on it. All in 6 major lessons. Lesson number 1. Do not replicate big corporations. The circumstances of a corporation are very different from those of a new business. Many big corporations spend a lot of money on developing their brand or gathering a large customer base, even if they don't make a profit right away. As a small business, you are just trying to make your first million. You don't have shareholders to impress or celebrities to sponsor. Your job as a small business is to bring in money. That's it. While big companies are able to spend money in advertising, even at a loss, you must find a profitable and sustainable way to find customers. In order to start developing the business, we must know for certain that a customer actually wants to buy the product. And one of the most effective ways to do this is to test your theory in a real-life scenario. Take the story of Zappos. This company started with the simple hypothesis that people would be willing to buy their shoes online. To test this idea, the founders went to shoe stores and took pictures of the company's shoes. Then they used these pictures to set up a fake online shoe store to see if people would try to buy their shoes. When people actually tried to buy their shoes online, the founders saw that their business plan actually worked. And they didn't have to spend any money to prove that their plan would work. And their idea was validated by real-life customers. This business was so successful that Zappos was bought by Amazon for $1.2 billion. Lesson number 2. Stop being a caveman. A mistake many startups make is working in isolation for a long period of time to build and polish their product. This can be a huge problem because in order to make a sustainable business model, we must quickly find out whether the product we're creating is actually useful. Otherwise, we might be spending our time and resources building a product no one wants. The quickest and easiest way to get real-world feedback for your product is to create what is called an MVP, or minimal viable product. This MVP should be simple and should contain only what is needed to give the customers a realistic expectation of what the full product will do. A sort of prototype of your product to get useful information and feedback from your customers. Here, you can validate 2 things. 1, that your product actually brings value to your customers, and 2, that the market actually wants your product and is willing to pay for it. A great example of this is Tim Ferriss. When he was writing the book The 4-Hour Workweek, he did 2 very interesting things. 1, he actually had people give feedback as he was writing the book. This makes sure that what he was writing was actually interesting and useful for his audience well before he launched the book. And 2, he ran Google Ads to see which title would get the most clicks on the purchase button. Even though he wasn't selling anything and the buyers weren't charged anything, he figured out which title gave him the best chance of selling the book. And as we know now, the winner was the 4-Hour Workweek. Lesson number 3. Use the BML Cycle. BML stands for Build, Measure, and Learn. First, you start with your MVP, your minimal viable product. Then, you take the product to the market and gather customer feedback. You take that information and study it to learn how you can use this data to make improvements on your product and your marketing. Then you optimize your product and make it better, which brings you back to the beginning of the cycle. The great news is that even as you launch your prototype or MVP, you can start making money. Think of the iPhone. Almost every year, Apple releases a new version of the iPhone with new and improved features. As we can see, they apply the BML cycle. They build and sell their product, measure the user feedback, learn what they can do better, then they apply it to the next model. The first version of the iPhone wasn't the best iPhone. Yet, Apple made over $1.2 billion with the sale of the first iPhone. And over the years, Apple has made over $1.6 trillion on iPhone sales alone. The more loops you make on the BML cycle, the more likely you are to build a great product and a more sustainable business model. Lesson number 4. Don't be a zombie. There's a mentality among entrepreneurs that to make a successful business, they have to keep pushing through all the challenges and hardships, that an entrepreneur needs to have lots of perseverance and an unshakable will. Many call this the hustle culture. Although many of these things are true, many people can misinterpret this way of thinking to ignore feedback and keep hard selling a product that the market does not want. To avoid being part of this living dead of mindless zombies selling the wrong product, it might be a good idea to ask ourselves, how can I change my product to fit what the market wants, instead of trying to change the market to what I want? You might be passionate about your product, but if the market does not want it, you won't be able to sell it. At the end of the day, it's all about what the market wants, not what the entrepreneur thinks they need. A good example of this is Groupon. Groupon started as an activism platform, but was later developed as the daily deals platform we know it as today. All because that's what the market wanted. Lesson number 5. The 3 growth strategies. As you build your business, you should be using these 3 strategies to increase your revenue and expand your business. Number 1. Retaining and reselling existing customers. This is one of the best ways to increase revenue because the cost to make money from existing customers is much lower than attracting new customers. So this should be the first step to increase your company's income. This is done by encouraging customers to buy the product more often, offering new features, or encouraging the purchase of new products within the company. Turning a one-time purchase into an ongoing relationship can create a strong foundation of consistent revenue for the business. Number 2. The viral strategy. This is where we get current customers to take care of the company's marketing. This is where awareness of the product spreads among your market through word of mouth. Social media is becoming a powerful tool for this type of marketing because many people like to share products and services they bought to others who might also be interested. Creating incentives for your customers to share your product can encourage this activity and create more awareness for your business for very little money. Number 3. Good old paid advertising. This is where you create and pay for ads to bring in new customers. There are many ways of paid advertising, such as billboards, radio, television, print ads, and so on. But the easiest and most effective is internet advertising. We have many advertising platforms over the internet, like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Google, influencers, and many more that are very effective if done correctly. The goal with paid advertisement for a lean startup is not to build awareness for the business, but to sell a product that makes more than what we paid advertising it. Lesson number 6. Learn your metrics. As you grow your business, it is important to keep track and analyze all of your metrics. You must know your customer acquisition cost, your conversion rate, your purchase value, customer lifetime value, all the way to user behavior based on age, gender, and lifetime of the customer. This can give you good information to make educated decisions and give you a better understanding of what is working and what is not. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.